Good afternoon, guys. It's a new RIOU talk, and today our guest is Martin Schnitzer, University of Innsbruck. Good afternoon, Professor. And I wanted to start with our traditional question. First, we ask our professors about the program. How do you like our program? And probably, in your opinion, what could be here upgraded? Probably new courses or new possibilities for the students.
Okay, yeah, hello to everybody. Well, I'm here since 4 years now. I was since from the beginning teaching strategic event management and venue management. Well, the facilities are great, the students are great, I'm enjoying, I'm coming back all the year. Well, we had already some discussions with the rector here, and we're exchanging our ideas, and I think I said, well, the best is if RIOU would become the place for a sport administrator for people who are working in the sports industry. So the hub number one in Russia, having also an international audience on students from everywhere. But I think having now many events, especially in Sochi with well, having hosted the Olympic Games, but now then in Russia hosting the Confederation Cup, the FIFA World Cup. I think there's quite a lot of going on, Formula One, and therefore why don't be the hub for the sports administrator in Russia, the hub number one, and of course integrating international students would be great, and doing a lot of research. I think that's still a bit missing. Uh, Analyzing the impact of the events which have been staged in Russia, and especially here in this region. I think there's quite a lot quite a lot of opportunities and things, and if there would be the chance, I'm always at your disposal, helping and assisting you.
I heard that you like more practice than theory. So is it true or not? And do you think there is enough practical part in this program? Probably because we discussed that probably we need more internship or long-term project.
Well, the practice is always a bit an excuse. I personally was working industry for 15 years, and so I know both sides. I'm now a scholar and write my research papers, and of course you cannot do apply things if you have not the theoretical background and the theoretical background for the practice. So I think sometimes the practical part are taken a bit of excuse in terms of saying, well, theory is tough, is learning, is challenging, and it's interesting. That's why you should not forget about the theory, about having a solid base, because that's necessary for being successful managers. That's, I think, the most is having a good combination, having a good quality of theoretical background. Then it's also easier to apply in the practical fields, and of course, a certain let's say a certain responsibility lies at the university, but the most and the biggest responsibility has everybody by himself or herself. That's why I say, students, don't wait till someone says, well, I have your job. So you have to be proactive, you have to try to open the gaps, open the doors which are maybe not opened at all, but maybe just where you have had chances to have a look at. And that's why I encourage you not waiting, being active, and don't take the practical part as an excuse for not doing the theoretical. I think both is very important.
So you have been working for so many events, and probably you can share what was your first experience, what is your background, your theoretical academical background, and how did you step in to this professional life and professional career of sport manager?
Well, I was studying sport and exercise science, having a specific focus to sports economics and sports management, doing my degree at the University of Innsbruck. And basically during my time as student, I was working as volunteers in different events. So that was basically I started like everybody starting who is interested working in sports event management. And of course, having had some experiences and people liked what I was doing, so I got the chance to get a full-paid job like in handball World Championships in Italy. And then step by step I got in the Universiade in Innsbruck, CFL 2005, Turin, and so on and so forth. And so I became really a professional sports event manager. But it's not that someone say, well, do you want to have the job as CEO? No, I was starting as a volunteer. And then after having gained some experience in event management, because this field of industry is quite intense. So if you want to have family, if you want to have kids, if you are not able to travel from one city to the next, and if you want to stay at home, then you have to look as well to your family, and that's why I decided then to go back to university. I did my PhD, and now I'm researching in the sports event management field, and so I try to combine as best as possible practical knowledge and theoretical aspects, and well, that's what I'm doing currently, and I am sharing this with all the students.
So now you said about handball. We heard during our lessons about football, but the most of your experiences are connected with winter sports. So do you like winter sports more? Are you practicing any sports, or it's probably because you have born in Alps, if I'm not mistaken?
Well, of course, having also studied sports and exercise science, we were doing a lot of practical stuff, and that's why I was trying at least everything. But from my background, I used to play football in the club, not successful, but I liked it at least. And I was also an alpine ski racer during my period as a kid and in the youth. Nowadays I do a little bit of everything, and well, I have not the favorite sport. I like in the summer especially doing mountain biking, because we have great opportunities for mountain biking. In the winter I like skiing and ski touring, so walking up with the skis. It's good exercise. And well, of course, if I have the opportunity to have play a football game with some friends, I enjoy it. But well, I'm not elite athlete at all, and that's why important is that you're enjoying and practicing sports and spending a good time with friends and family, and that's the most important.
So if I'm not mistaken, you have born in Italy, but now you're working in Austria. How do you feel personally, more as an Austrian, Italian, or it's like an international citizen?
Well, this is a question I was expecting. Well, to be honest, I'm not Italian as you imagine it. I'm coming from the German-speaking part of Italy, so we are quite historically linked to Austria, as we have been part of Austria once, and we have more, let's say, a regional identity. So I was born in South Tyrol, and there's existing the North Tyrol region, where Innsbruck is the capital of, and that's basically I have more my personal identity feelings are more linked to the Tyrol than to Austria or Italy. That's why we're proud of being Tiroleans, let's say.
But probably then you can explain what does it mean to be Tirolean. For example, we had an interview with Professor Kaspar, and he explained us what does it mean to be Austrian and what is the difference between Austrian and German. So probably there is any line between Austrian and Tirolean.
Well, historically, Tyrol had been for a long time an independent state, and that's why Austria, and I know Professor Kaspar is from Lower Austria and close to Vienna. They have more, and it's also empirical evidences that these people have more a relation to Austria than the Tyroleans have. Well, we are living in a place where a lot of mountains, narrow valleys. So we have our regional identities and culture, which are special. We have our specific food and let's say our history, And I think it's hard to explain. It's just a feeling, and that's why identity and local and regional identity are defined. It's mainly expressed by feelings, and it's, well, I like people I'm living close to, so people from Innsbruck and people from Bolzano, the area where I was basically born. And I think it's a special feeling. It's not that I can't say it's because of that. So, of course, I have Italian citizenship. My kids have Italian and Austrian citizenship. But at the end, we feel like Tirolean, and it's hard to explain.
There is any dialect, language?
Yes, we have a strong dialect. We have, even though Germans, when they're coming on holidays, because we are a famous tourism region, it's hard for them to understand when we are talking our dialect, even though German is basically our language.
That's clear. And now we will go to short questions and short answers. I will ask you a question, and I ask you just repeat really shortly. So if you're ready, we can start. The most important quality, the most important skill for a venue manager?
Never giving up.
Your strongest point? Your best skill?
Empathy.
Your weakest point?
Empathy.
It's interesting. Your favorite team in any kind of sports?
Juventus.
What do you like more, to go to the cultural event or sport event to watch?
Sporting event.
The most famous Russian for you?
Well, he was from Ukraine. The football player, the Zaravov. He played for Juventus.
Okay. The place you have never been, but you wanted to go?
There's so many, so I cannot tell you right now.
And the place you really liked, your favorite place you visited?
Home is the best place.
It was Professor Martin Schnitzer, University of Innsbruck. Thank you for watching, and see you later in our RIOU talk.